It's like you clearly set up a camera to do this goofy ass shit.
Yeah, man, it was a great 2 nights.
Yeah, don't do that.
There was 6 tag teams.
I was freaking telling Tony.
We need the sweet, smooth sounds of Winston after dark.
I just watched it happen. Oh,
No, we need less Winston.
Okay. I'm far away.
like he's just an idiot.
Not
Selling
us.
drugs on Instagram now instead of Snapchat.
Again?
I guess so.
Someday you'll find it.
So it's pretty huge.
Winston's loose connection.
So the homeless people don't steal it. Wow, bam! Look at that. Where's Brian, man?
It is I.
Welcome to the XYZ podcast. I'm millennial producer Tony. Joining me, as always, are our hosts Gen X Brian
Good evening, everybody.
and Gen Z Winston.
What it do?
Winston, you're staring up at the sky. You look like
The eclipse is over. It's gone. Stop looking.
I'm trying to set up my recording. Man. My
burned his
backup
retinas
recording.
this afternoon, and now
Yeah,
he
sure
can only
did.
gaze
You guys telling
upward.
me you're below right now? What?
Well, I want to flow right. We were just talking before the recording started about the differences between middle school and junior high, and apparently it's what grades are in that building.
Yeah.
Which somehow went into going to the fern bank and being told about the birds and the bees.
Yeah. So
What
let's.
what a great start.
What kind of a grade school did you go to?
Public.
Okay.
So,
Same thing with high school?
Yeah, we had as a public elementary, middle, and high school. I've always wondered if there's a difference between middle school and junior high, and I think it's how many grades are in that building. Because K to 5 was elementary,
All right.
then 6 to 8 was middle school.
So I went to junior high, and it was 7th and 8th grade.
Yeah.
See,
My
that's I
wing.
think the difference.
So
But we
wait,
didn't
your
call it that.
elementary school went up to 6th grade?
Mm-hmm.
Middle school is usually the term that refers to grades 6 to 8, while junior high typically refers to grades 7 through 9.
Oh.
Oh, see,
So
my
it's
junior high
still
was only
3
7th and
grades.
8th. Well, see, my junior high was only 2 grades.
Huh.
7th and 8th. And then before in 6th grade, what now the kids go, I think it's in 5th grade where they take them to Fernbank and tell them about the birds and the bees. That was in 6th grade where they
At
segregated.
Fernbank?
Yeah. They go and they learn about
I feel like
thought
this
it
all
was
should
dinosaurs.
be this all needs put in the
Okay,
episode.
that's fine. We can go back. We will go into that, but before I forget, I do have a couple of things that I jotted down. I brought up a phrase. I referenced something earlier with my kids, and they looked at me and had no idea. So I'm like, let me
Oh,
jot
God.
this down to see if I can say that. It's not a slang term.
Are you
It
going to
was-
test me on it? Do it to see if
I'm-
I know it?
I'm gonna bet that you don't know it, and I'm gonna bet that Tony may. But it's more of a
Okay.
how far have I, how old am I segment.
Before you do that, though, Tony, we should probably say something about.
Tony's like,
Let's
I had a topic.
preempt everything. Go ahead,
Oh.
Winston. What's up?
I was just gonna say, it's like
Anything
it is our special 1 year episode, right?
That is true.
We have been doing this for 1 year now. This will come out close to our anniversary date.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Congratulations.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that is
Give
totally,
us a pat on the back.
that's good. I'll
guys.
We
get
didn't-
some thunderous
We didn't
applause.
think we'd ever get it started, let alone go for a year. So pretty impressive.
It would have started sooner had we looped you in on it sooner, Tony. I think that
That's
was the
true.
issue.
To-
Yeah.
Maybe.
Tony is the doer of the group, but
Yeah.
now we have fans in Uzbekistan and
Yeah.
where
Nigeria,
Myanmar.
right?
We'd love to hear from you guys
Yeah.
out in actually any of our fans. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later.
Oh, that's
Okay.
right. We have
Speaking,
that
yeah,
too.
we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Okay.
Let's continue to backtrack.
Let's go back to middle school.
Okay.
Let's go back to middle school. We
Please
told-
no. I'd rather not, but
Yeah,
continue.
definitely.
Continue.
I will tell you, as parents, my wife and I fully agree that middle school is like the worst possible sets of grades where kids go through the most bizarre changes. They're the meanest to each other. But yeah, we started talking about middle school versus junior high, right?
I will say this. I had a stint as a substitute teacher for
Oh wow.
it lasted a few months until I got a full-time job, but loved my little bit of time doing it. I did 1 day in an elementary school. I did a few times. Yeah, the one in elementary. I
What
was just
grade?
like,
What grade in elementary
I
school?
think it was 4th or 5th. Like it was
Okay.
the older kids, and I went, I can't. They're still too little.
Yeah,
Can't do
I
it. Man,
agree.
high school. Some of the high schools that I went to were scary. And I'm like, I don't really like this.
A little too inner city for you?
Well, it was Johnstown's high school, and it's the only one in the surrounding area that I knew that had metal detectors. And I was just like, I don't like this.
I was going to ask that jokingly, but wow, yeah.
Nope. Johnstown Middle School, though, loved it. There was a math teacher that had a whole bunch of vacations saved up, and they told them, you have to take your vacation. So they went on like a month-long cruise or something. So I was there pretty regularly towards the end of the year.
Oh, geez.
What'd you go by? Mr. Tony?
Yeah.
Winston, come on now.
What?
He's in the witness relocation program. We can't just get his last name out there like that.
He's John. He's already changed his first name.
Man. So many
I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, no, I did. I went by Mr. Wicks. Yes.
Yeah.
Which did make me instantly feel old, but
right. That's my dad.
It was great. They're old enough to know what they should be doing.
Yeah.
But they're still young enough that you can boss them around.
I was going to say...
it was the perfect happy medium.
I was going to say I'll co-sign that because when I was tutoring kids, I hated tutoring elementary schooler kids. I just couldn't deal with them. But like middle schooler, they're good. You can have a conversation with them, but then you get to the high schooler and they're real angsty and they don't want to talk to you. So it's just like, okay, I guess my job is easier. But like middle schooler is fun because you can just like, you can talk to them, you can make jokes with them and they would totally get it compared to like elementary schooler who don't get it and then high schooler who doesn't care about it. At least that was my experience. But
well, I've had no past teaching kids, so I can't chime in there on which age is good. So I went to a junior high, which was comprised of 7th and 8th grade only. After you went through 1 through 6, then you went to junior high, grade 7th and 8th, and then grade 9 you started high school, 9 through 12. What did you do, Tony?
I did K to 5 in elementary. 6th, 7th, and 8th in middle school.
They called it middle school?
We had middle school, not junior high. And then 9 to 12 was high school.
And what about you, Winston?
So I did 1 to 12 in one building. No, I'm kidding. So in Vietnam, elementary school was 1st to 5th grade. So I did that there. Okay. Then I went to middle school. So here's the difference. Middle school in Vietnam, if I remember correctly, goes up to 9th grade. So it's 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. And then you get to high school, that will be 10, 11, 12, and then college.
That makes the middle school name make more sense because it's like the middle chunk of school. In the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you have like 6th graders hanging out with like in the same vicinity as 9th graders?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's wild.
I will say this, like 6th grader in Vietnam are not the same as 6th grader in America. 6th grader in America is, in my opinion, a lot more innocent than 6th grader in Vietnam. I guess it's just the environment. You have to grow up faster and you're learning. And that's why I would say this. When I was in Vietnam, I took 6th grade like math classes, and I went over here and did 7th and 8th grade. And that was stuff I learned in 6th grade in Vietnam. So I kind of had an understanding of them. So that's why I say like these kids over there definitely grew up a lot faster than the kids over here. So it's not weird to think that 6th grader and 9th grader would be in the same school just hanging out.
We're just saying age-wise,
Yeah, but otherwise it's still very cliquey, so it doesn't really matter. I remember when I was in 6th grade in Vietnam, it's weird because like the older you get, the more of a bully you are. So like 9th graders are considered bullies, so you don't want to get around.
Well, I think we figured out you were. That's
right.
No, I was bullied in middle school or in 6th grade. And 7th and 8th, but I couldn't bully anyone. But like I remember, like I told you, like that was elementary school, I bully a kid or whatever. Then I got to America for 7th and 8th, and then I got bullied. But I would say when I got to America, middle school was only 6th to 8th grade. And then, but I didn't do 6th grade, so I only did 7th and 8th. So it's weird.
Tony, what's the official definition?
Yeah.
So having looked this up, middle school typically is referring to 6 to 8, while junior high typically refers to 7 to 9.
Oh, okay. So I got shortchanged a year of junior high.
So you had to go to a different like school after 8th grade or like after 6th grade?
That's after weird. 6th grade, yeah, you go to junior high. It was attached to the high school. It was not. You didn't run into the same. It was like sort of on one end of the high school, and then and
ours were very spread apart. The high school sat in front of the elementary school, but the middle school was way far away.
My experience was otherwise because I went to a private school, so it's pre-K to 12th grade in one building.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, it's small, so they don't have the space for it. But it's just funny to like be a high schooler and you go get lunch and you just see little kids running around. So it's so weird. But yeah,
But Brian, you had a term you wanted to run by us.
yeah.
Right. No, it was so this completely changes gears. I referenced the other day the Vans Warped Tour. Now, do
Okay.
you know
Yeah.
I say the Vans
Oh,
Warped Tour? Tony
yes.
obviously knows what that. Winston.
Is that like a music thing or
It was, but you
okay?
don't know yeah, I referenced the Vans Warped Tour to my kids and they're like I said it just assuming everybody knows what it is because it was around for a really long time. Like the
Yeah,
Vans Warped Tour was sort of like a mainstay.
yeah.
I said it as, it's very matter of factly, and they both had no idea what I was talking about. I was like,
No, I
huh.
get it. I don't know it either. I've never
But
heard
you
of
don't know it, but Tony knows it. So I guess it stopped, but it was where you'd go see your
Favorite
your
skater.
punk-ish
I'm
type.
looking at peak Warp Tour for me. 'Cause I graduated in '06, and I'm looking at, let's see, the Bouncing Souls, Emery, Gym Class Heroes, Hello
Oh,
Goodbye.
really?
Hello Goodbye, I love them. Paramore,
I love them.
Plain White Tees.
Yeah, I mean,
only
it
know
was
one
like
song.
a major a summer concert tour where a bunch of
Yeah,
bands would get together,
Is
and it
is
became
Plain
sort of
White
like
Tee the group that did Hey There Delilah?
that's them. That's their
Yeah,
big
not
song.
One Hit
very, yeah.
Wonder. Yeah.
Under
Yeah.
Oath.
I just wanted to know which of you guys knew what that was, but that was one of those terms I said I was like, huh, I guess I have aged out of using that as a point of
Yeah, I
reference.
want you to know,
Or
Brian, that's like my biggest fear is starting to lose it. Like the other day,
it's
like the other day, one of the kid I used to tutor, I see him like a little brother and stuff. So he texts me, he goes, yeah, hey, you know what a bop is? And I'm like, what's a bop? And he goes, oh, I
wait,
thought you were, yeah, a BOP, a bop. Do you know
you
what a
know
bop
you
is?
that's what everybody refers to music, right? Like that's a bop.
No. A bob is a slut or a hoe. That's what you refer to a girl who sleep around.
What? A
Yeah,
bop?
a bob, B-O-P. Yeah,
Because she bops around.
yeah.
Right.
I
Okay.
wasn't aware of that. I was
But
like,
I thought that's what you referred to, like that song. Oh,
no,
that's a bop.
that's what I used to say too. And then
Oh.
and then this little kid texts me. I say little, he's in high school now, but he
Mhm.
goes, Winston, do you know what a bop is? And I'm like, no. And then he goes, dang man, I thought you were caught up on all of these. And then he started calling me Unc. He was like,
Oh
damn, Unc, you're
yeah.
getting old. I'm like, oh, come on,
Oh,
man.
you're like, oh man, this
Yeah.
is what I do to Brian every week.
Exactly. And so I took the word and I walk out to Josh. He goes, "Do you ever heard of the term bop?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Where have I been?" Like if Josh know and I don't, like where have I been?
How's that change? How does that change from like that's a bop to she's a
I
bop?
think I think it's still used both. Like it's like, damn, this song's a bop. Like that's a bop for sure. But then like a girl, you have to specifically say, "Oh, don't mess with Jessica. She's a bob." Or yeah, the head bob. I don't know, something like that. I don't.
You're not
I'm
down.
starting to lose it. Yeah, I've never gone down to like it's like the new thing right now is a TikTok Riz party. You ever heard of that?
Well, thanks to you and my children, I know what Riz is,
Right.
but a TikTok Riz party
So okay, I'll explain this to you
doesn't
guys and
sound
people that
good.
are listening. So,
No.
Tony, do you know?
Not a
You
Yeah,
ever heard
clue.
of a TikTok Riz
Not a
party?
clue.
No?
No.
So it's where it's okay. So it's one of those video on TikTok that went viral, and it got to the point where people start developing lore and is just creating different jokes to go with this video. And so they're creating like story that weren't around beforehand. But I'll give you the background info. So a while back there was a video. It was about 5 or 6 kids. They must have been in high school or something, 15, 16, 14-year-old. And they went to a girl's sweet 16 party. And I guess this girl family was rich or whatever. So they hire a media production company that comes and record the sweet 16. And so during the Sweet 16 celebration, the DJ played this song off of Kanye West's new album called Carnival. And Carnival's feature
Was
a
that
lot
off
of
the Vultures album?
yes, off of the Vulture album.
Listen to me, Tony. I'm dropping
Yeah,
like,
right. That's what I'm
Wow.
saying.
Kanye
Yeah.
albums.
And so on that song, it featured Playboy Cardi and Ty Dolla $ign. A lot of kids now they love Playboy Cardi, including me. I love Playboy Cardi. but I like old Playboy Cardi more than anything. But anyway,
That's
so
how you know you're old. You've
Yeah.
done it.
it's terrible, man. And
I
so
thought that dude was just been
man,
around. I know the name,
it's
but
the one thing about this podcast is you seeing me age as we go per episode. I'm like, at some point we're gonna have to make it it's not XYZ anymore. It's gonna be ZYA at some
no,
point.
that's fine. We are not bringing in. We're not going to bring young people in. Just as much as I'd get a kick out of bringing in younger people to make you feel old, I don't.
Yeah.
I just
Oh,
Tony and I would be like,
we
really
can't do that because we'd all just be made fun of.
Yeah,
all
exactly.
three of us.
Yeah, why are
Yeah.
you hanging out with high schoolers, you weirdos?
Anyway, so the DJ played Carnival, and at the beginning of Carnival it goes go go go, she sucked a dick like a carnival, something like that. Anyway, it's vulgar.
Some deep lyrics.
Yeah, and so you then have these 5, 6, teenage boy, and for whatever reason, like one of them is real sweaty, like his hair is all wet, and then this gets worse. So anyway, so the video went viral, whatever. And then people start pointing out each of the character, and they start referring to that video as, "Oh, you guys gonna go to the TikTok wrist party?" And for whatever reason, that was the name. And people start making flyers for the TikTok wrist party, and then they start assigning nicknames to each of the kids that was in the video. So you got Blue Tie Kid, who is the leader. You have Turkish Quandale Dingles because he looks Turkish and he just looked like Quandale Dingle. And there was one kid with a real red face for whatever reason, so they call him Tomato Boy. And then there was one kid who was just trying to like fit in, so they could call him "We don't know you, bro." The joke being like, "Oh, Quandale Dingles want to impress the group leader, aka Blue Tie Kid, so bad because in one of the video he was dancing and he kept looking at that kid, like signaling, like, "Hey, do I look cool?"
Is this the official video or is this some video that people made and put on TikTok?
This is an official video.
Okay.
Like, it's an official video. And that's what I say is I would hate to grow up during this time where TikTok is so peak, where like if I got caught going viral and being known as Turkish Quandale Dingles for the rest of my life, I would not show back up to school. The joke then keep evolving, so you get different like branches of it. So like one of my favorite one that I saw was, "Oh, there's a new K-pop group debuting, and they're called the TikTok Wrist Party." And then they start giving stat to the boys like Blue Tie Kid, vocalist, leader, and then Turkish Quandale Dingles, main dancer and stuff. Yeah, and then it become like an anime thing where it's like a lore base. It's like, yeah, I can't wait till chapter 236 when Turkish Quandale Dingle finally fought back the group leader and take the rightful reign of the group or whatever.
It's a new level. It's a new level of bullying.
Yeah,
and they can't do anything about it.
Exactly. And it's funny because I'll say this: had this been 2016, these kids would have ended up on the Ellen show and gotten free something for the rest of their life.
Well, unfortunately for Ellen, we know, her. That's the thing, man. You reign for you. People love you, and then they cheer your demise. It's weird.
But that's what I'm saying though, is the time has changed now where it's like these kids are just getting a bully and elaborate jokes for free, and you're not getting anything out of it. At least with the damn Daniel kid, he got a lifetime supply of Vans. You know what I mean?
Who's damn Daniel?
Oh, are you serious? Oh, you're not serious.
Here's where no, I'm totally serious. Here's where Winston can feel young again. I don't know who is it. Damn, like DAMN, damn Daniel.
Okay, so this was a Vine. This was a Vine that went viral.
Okay, so we're talking Vines now.
No. Sorry, it's not a Vine. It's an Instagram video that went viral around 8 years ago. So check this out. This was when I was in high school. Okay, let me know.
And this is what, a song, or this is just a Vine?
Just watch the video.
Damn, Daniel. Damn, Daniel. Damn, Daniel. Damn, Daniel. Back at it again with the. What are those?
Okay, so let me comment on this.
First of all, it wasn't the original video. Wasn't the "What are those?" It ended with him saying, "Damn, Daniel, back at it again with the white Vans." So then Ellen took them onto the show and gave him a lifetime supply of white Vans, or just Vans in general.
Okay, so let me understand this. So Daniel, describe the video, because again, Winston, this still is not a visual podcast.
Anyway, go ahead. Explain it to people who's listening.
Is Daniel wandering around, I guess, sporting a pair of white Vans always?
Yep.
I wasn't looking at his shoes.
Yes,
and,
he was.
And video maker commenting on his shoes.
Yeah.
And
just
the only
goes, damn, Daniel, back
and then
at it
the
again
only
with the white vans.
okay, so
Yeah.
because of that,
Yeah.
that Daniel got asked to be on Ellen and got a lifetime
Daniel
supply.
and the kid that recorded it.
That's good
And
because the kid that recorded is really the one that made it
so
happen.
here's the messed up part. Daniel got a lifetime supply of fans, while the kid that recorded it got a surfboard for some reason, and it's like an Ellen brand like surfboard.
Hey, we found this in a closet.
Yeah,
We're trying to get rid of it.
He's like,
I would
dude,
I'm
from
kill
Nebraska.
myself in
There's
front
no-
of the live audience and changes the trajectory of their life forever if I got a surfboard for making the video go viral. Because Daniel
Oh.
didn't do anything. He just walk around
He
in
just
white
showed
vans.
up. He showed up to school in his vans. So, so the what are those things? I only remember that from when my children were in middle school, and
Yeah.
I believed my observance of the what are those
Right.
was either amazing shoes or bad shoes. I'm not sure.
No,
It had
they're bad
something to do
shoes.
with
They're
bad
supposed to
shoes.
be real
Okay,
bad shoes. Yeah.
and
So
some
if I were to see you wear like say sandals, I'd be like, what are those? But you know, it's 2024. I'm not gonna say that anymore. I would just be like, hey man, everybody got their own style. Do your thing.
yeah,
It's just me maturing, is what it is.
that's it. That's it.
Let's
Yeah.
keep backing up. I'm going to
Uh.
ask again. Brian, you had a phrase you wanted to run by
That
us.
was a weird detour. How did
No,
where
no.
do we yeah.
That was- Yeah, the other phrase was completely not attached to this, but yeah, I wanted to mention the Vans Warped Tour. That's where it started to
Right.
see if that was a reference point now that
Oh, back to Vans. Okay, white damn Daniel, white Vans, Van Warped
Yeah,
Tour,
we
back on
connected
track.
it.
Oh,
Okay,
it's
yeah.
okay. We're here.
okay, Tony knows what the Vans Warped Tour is, Winston does not.
Yeah.
The other thing that I've heard recently, and again, you hear these things and usually I can figure them out by context, but I hear people keep referencing Uncanny Valley.
Oh God. Yeah.
What is Uncanny Valley?
Okay. Before Tony give an official answer, I think I have an answer for it.
Well, you think you have an answer. I always hear it referred to. It has to do with AI and like weird glitches in the Matrix.
It wasn't so much that. I think it had something to do with, you remember when like the early 2000s when Hollywood started doing CGI and they were just CGIing random shit. Like you remember watching The Mummy with The Rock and he was, oh no, not The Mummy, Scorpion King.
I did
Do you
not
remember
see that, but I do know that the CGI was horrible because they were on
Yeah.
a tight deadline or
Whatever how he looks like in that movie is considered Uncanny Valley because it's like he looks like a person, but he doesn't feel like a real person because
Right.
of how bad the CGI is. And the reason why I say that, or that's my answer, is because I watched the is it Chip and Dale? Is it the one with the two squirrel on Disney Plus a while back?
Yeah, Peter Pan.
Chipmunks.
Wait, what'd you say, Tony?
Well, Chip and Dale would be chipmunks.
Okay, so not
But-
Chip and Dale. What's the one where it's the two squirrel? You know the one I'm talking about, Brian. We talked about this before.
Ice Age,
No, what?
Chip and Dale,
Okay, it is Chip and Dale
Rescue Rangers. Okay,
Yes.
rescue.
But they're
you
not
did Rescue Ra-
squirrels.
They're not squirrels. Sorry, they're
Chip.
chipmunks.
The name
Yeah.
sort of indicates it.
So there's a scene where they went to go find Peter Pan and they went to the Uncanny Valley. And that's where like all of the weird CGI people were walking
Is it
around.
labeled Uncanny Valley?
I think that's what they call it.
I think we're in the valley. The uncanny valley. The what? Do you remember that weird animation style in the early 2000s where everything looked real but nothing looked right? Oh yeah, that stuff was creepy. Well, I think this is where they ended up.
Yeah.
So here's, I'm going to jump in here. So
Please,
this
because
is,
I've heard
it's-
this term and I know what it means, but I don't know where it comes from.
So it literally refers to a dip in a graph of how humans feel about the stages of robotics. So if you look at a line graph, you start at the bottom left and it's like an industrial robot. All right.
Right.
And you start moving up and then it's like a toy robot. And then it gets to be a real cute robot. And then the closer it starts getting to human like, it takes a real hard dip to where this isn't cute and this feels really threatening.
Yeah.
And then it goes from real threatening to, okay, this actually, you can't tell the difference between it and a human. But
Right.
there's a spot between cute robot and I can't tell the difference where a human brain goes,
That's not
something
a real
is
person. Yeah.
off
Something's
here
off.
and
Yeah.
I
Okay.
really don't like it. So
Yeah.
it's literally a valley in a line graph, but it's been played upon. So it's just like, oh, the Uncanny Valley is a place, and that's where
Yeah.
all the weird stuff.
Gotcha.
A lot of people
Okay.
use Polar Express
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
really don't like
Yeah.
that movie because it was right in that sweet spot of like
yeah.
CGI is almost there, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
really
It's-
unsettling.
You're like, it's
It's
Tom
that-
Hanks, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's that movie, and what's the one where the house start eating kids? You know what I'm talking about?
Jumanji?
No. It's like an animated movie, but it's a haunted house, and the front door is like a mouth.
I
don't
know.
know.
Yes, I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. I can't think of it. I was gonna say the other one that I always think of is Jim Carrey's Christmas Carol.
Never seen that.
It's
Yeah.
the same thing. It's just
Very
again, they're
similar as
both-
Polar Express. Yeah.
It's another Christmas movie with just the CGI was good for the time, but not good enough to
Check it
not
out.
make you feel unsettled.
Monster House is what it's
Yeah.
called, and just like that's what I think of when I think Uncanny Valley.
See, those to me are still like, like cartoon looking characters for that one. But
Yeah, but they're trying to look too realistic, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
okay, so that's what it refers to, though. So I've heard that referenced a lot, and I didn't know the origin of it. I was able to get it from context, like when they refer to Uncanny Valley, but it's
Mhm.
actually a graph term. I bet you a lot of people did not know that's where it came from.
I didn't know that. Yeah, so that's definitely new for
Thought
me.
it was just where you get we're living in in the Matrix, and it's like
Yeah.
kind of off.
right.
Yeah.
And speaking of Matrix, man, what's up with us and like getting glitches in the Matrix all the time because of this
Dude,
podcast?
I wish
Do we have to explain this to our listener? Because I don't like this is conversation we talk off air all
We
the time.
have found it to be a trend that as we talk about things and an episode is released, or very shortly after, things then come up in the news. We
Yeah.
talked about Pee Wee Herman, and
That's-
a few
Yeah,
weeks later, he
yeah.
passes away. Things
that's
like
probably the
that
biggest
was
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
And I mean, because, prior to that, we hadn't talked about Pee Wee Herman. And in case
Yeah.
people haven't figured it out, when we sit down and talk, we don't really have a roadmap. I occasionally
Yeah.
jot things down that I want to ask. But yeah, and I just wonder, is the world that small? But there are so many things that come up. I wish I would have started marking them. Pee Wee Herman.
2 weeks from now, breaking news: viral star Damn Daniel found dead in his hotel room.
No!
No, what am I
Don't
allowed
kill
to
Damn
justify
Daniel.
white man's? Oh,
But was
but
that was that
Daniel
was
will be dead, and Warp Tour is starting back up. It's gonna be a
Yes.
real
Yes.
weird man.
it's
Yeah.
in honor of Daniel.
I would have to. I wish I would have like made the notes, because there are so many things that we talk about.
Yeah,
We don't need a Sugar Ray resurgence, but that
it's on the horizon. It's gonna happen soon.
yeah.
That's weird, right? Yeah,
But
Maybe
then on the
we'll-
flip side,
maybe we'll keep a list in year 2 here.
we should. Yeah.
of just weird things that come up, and that
That-
makes me
yeah.
wonder if it's
Are we
we've talked-
manifesting it? Is that what it is?
Well, then we got to do a better job, man. Because seriously, if we're
we're manifesting
Think
the
of,
wrong
let's talk
thing.
about things that we want to happen, or
This
people
is
we
our
don't like.
business podcast. We'll talk about money making and Lamborghinis and knowledge here.
and then we'll move into vision boards and see.
Oh.
But here, honestly, though, I do believe there's something to that of like manifesting things. I mean, no, a lot of people like put a lot of stock into it, but I believe that's a thing. But like, I hope we're not manifesting that. We didn't talk about the death of Pee Wee Herman. We actually, I think, we
Yeah,
talked
we
about
just
him
talked about-
reverently.
We talked about him like stroking it in a movie theater.
That was a bit of news that you didn't know that Tony and I knew. We were passing on the
Yeah,
knowledge.
that's true. That's
But I
fair.
guess, yeah. And then
Yeah.
now you're getting schooled by young high school kids about what the cool
Man.
thing is online.
telling
but
you,
I-
like the TikTok wrist party really is like a brain rot to me because I'm like, I'm getting too old, but I see the joke in it. Like it's funny enough to me. You know
So
what I mean?
have you noticed? So UMG pulled their music off TikTok,
Yeah.
because they weren't getting paid.
Yeah.
Which I believe is fair, because I'm just we've talked about the sped up songs on TikTok, which I just don't understand, and have been further dismayed to see actual artists release the sped up version of their songs. I know why they do it, so they can get paid for it. But,
Right.
people started doing that just on their own. And then, musicians started, releasing versions of it. Have you, in your daily TikTok encounters, scrolled upon a post that has music removed?
Yes, multiple time. And it's just like, I think when it's removed, it doesn't just remove the music, it removes whatever the audio like was in the video. So if a person was talking and there's a song that play underneath it that's belong to UMG, that whole audio would get removed. So
Man.
there've been time where a video had gone viral and I would go and look for it and then there's no sound. I'm just like, well, that's messed up. Like, because a lot of time people don't even play the sound. They just kind of put the audio so that
As
and then
background
they'll
music,
mute
right?
it. No,
Yeah.
no. They'll mute it because the audio is trending, so the song is trending. They'll put the song on their
They
video.
put that
so
song on to get views?
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
So you don't
I don't
ever
think
hear
you
the
noticed,
song.
but I did that to our TikTok too. Like, there's one song that for whatever reason just get a ton of view, and I just put it on, but I muted the whole time. So I try to bait views for our video, but it clearly has not worked.
Oh man. See, I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know how TikTok works,
But
and I don't
I,
think I'll ever get into it, but man,
yeah,
it's confusing.
but I will say, I think the UMG thing happening really affect a lot of like K-pop group too, because I think BTS is under UMG, and so is Blackpink. So a lot of their stuff got removed from there.
Same thing with Universal Music Group. There's only like 5 like big music groups, and like they all fall under, one of them.
One of them is under UMG. 'Cause I
Man.
think UMG have subsidiary. How do you say it?
Subsidiaries.
Subsidiary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
subsidiary. And so I think that's why it affects it even more. Oh, I looked it up. Look at that. Capital Christian Music Group is apparently an
They have a
underling
big
of
presence on
UMG.
TikTok. I think they
Yeah, it's they were doing numbers on stay-at-home girlfriend TikToks. They're always Mormon for some reason. Have you noticed that?
Oh, don't even get me again. We gotta have my wife on the show.
Yeah.
She has studied and understood how like there's a huge Mormon presence on Instagram.
Yeah, Mormon
Because-
talk. You never heard of them?
Well, because she's like she looks at it sort of scholastically of like I'm being
Yeah.
advertised to by all these women, and they're all a lot of Mormons that because they're not supposed to have jobs outside of the home.
Right.
So these stay-at-home Mormon women, get it. Well, this I can pimp.
I will
brands
say
from my
this.
house. I
would
just
say
don't
this.
supposed to call it pimping brands, but that's
I will say I would hate to be like a broke Mormon guy. It's like, dude, I'm barely making it, and now my wife have to stay home for no reason. It's like, dude,
no,
pitch in,
she's
man.
supposed to stay home. That's how they say
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. It's like if we're already struggling, where does fate cut off?
If I'm
Like, do we have to
struggling, I'm
end
not
up on
putting
this
my daily life on the internet every day. that's
What's
where
up, guys? Welcome back. Today, my husband is getting fired from his job,
Well,
Next
speaking
week,
of
we're gonna deep dive into food
so I'm
stamps.
gonna make him a strawberry cheesecake. Before we
yeah.
get going, I was gonna say me and Brian, we wanted to talk about the stay-at-home girlfriend trend for a second.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I had to tell Winston, no matter how hard he tries, he's never going to be a stay-at-home girlfriend. So Winston informed me that this was a thing in the first place, a stay-at-home girlfriend, and that
Yeah.
there are from what it's what the news articles would have you believe, hordes of girls that assign themselves to this lifestyle of where they have a man take care of them, pay for everything, and all they do is stay home and work on the house and work on themselves and look good. And that's
And be an
fine.
influencer, right?
Right.
Right. At least do that, right?
Right.
I don't know if I have a stay-at-home girlfriend, I would make a TikTok account for her. I'm like, at least do something productive with it. You know what I mean? I'm like,
do what?
I'm already
Productive with
peddle
what?
some makeup and feet pics and
Yeah.
Exactly,
uphold your end of the
exactly.
bargain here.
That's not it
Exactly.
though. That's not it. These from
they're
what
not
I saw,
they're not supposed to work at all. They're just kind of stay home.
Well, again, you told me about this. I didn't know it existed, and then weeks later, I see a story about how suddenly the stay-at-home girlfriends are having a reckoning when their
Right.
dude breaks up with them. That they've been
Right,
like
that's
the
right.
faithful stay-at-home girlfriend of 2 or 3 years, and suddenly they have this huge ass gap on their resume.
It's
and
like,
no
what are you
actionable
doing for
skill.
the last 3 years? Cook and clean at a
Yeah.
restaurant? No.
Yeah.
Can they list their ex-boyfriend as like a job reference, you
yeah.
think?
I was just gonna say
I
that
don't
too.
know.
Yeah.
I have 500,000 views. When was this? That was like 3 months ago. I'm sorry, that's not relevant anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
that was the thing. There was this reckoning of like all these.
Yeah.
Like, again, I read these stories because I didn't know they existed in
So-
the first place.
I will say this, okay, from personal experience, because both me and my roommate Josh, we heard it from our buddy. You guys know who I'm talking about here. But he told us straight up that he wanted to make his girlfriend. I think at this point they haven't dated for a year. He wanted to make more money so that he can have her be a stay-at-home girlfriend. So for a girl to be a stay-at-home girlfriend is one thing, but as a man to deliberately go out of your way to make your girlfriend a stay-at-home girlfriend is some beta shit. I'm sorry, it has to be some beta shit. Like, you're not an alpha because you're like carrying the weight. I've talked to my girlfriend about this before. Like, there's these girls whose all they want to do is just stay at home and just
Not-
look cute, do cool stuff like play Animal Crossing all day. But I've talked to my girlfriend about this, and like as a joke, because in reference to my old buddy, I told her what he said about wanting to make his girlfriend a stay-at-home girlfriend. So I goes, babe, would you want me to make you a stay-at-home girlfriend? Like as a joke, and she goes, that's not me. Like
No,
she's
she's
she
driven.
knows
She's
what,
got dreams. Yeah,
exactly. And you know what it is? Her reasoning is she's a very logical person. So she goes, oh, I don't want to do that, because like, what if we get into an argument and then you immediately goes, oh yeah, you know those shoes you got? Yeah, I bought those. Yeah, you know all that money you spent? That was my money.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't want that. I don't want to deal with that. That's just a headache. And I agree with her. I'm just like, why would you want to subject your girlfriend to that level? I don't know. Is it to control them later? Is that what it is? You know?
Yeah, I don't know. And that was like
yeah.
the sad thing of this article that I was reading.
But also, as a girl, why would you want that? It's just like, you don't want more for yourself. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
because the internet's told you got a guy that takes care of you. You get to stay at home, buy whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but that's a red flag. Like if if I wasn't taken and I start talking to a girl and she made that clear up front, get out of here.
Yeah, no, it's you got to have better aspirations. But
right.
Yeah, and the article I was reading was like, this girl was like, yeah, the reason I filmed so many videos is because I was bored out of my mind.
Exactly.
Like you know, if you got all day.
And I'll say that is the girls who actually realize, damn, I'm bored as hell. I'm not doing anything. My boyfriend's taking care of me. At least make me make some videos for TikTok or whatever so I can be an influencer. I would say I have a friend. I think I told you guys about her before.
She's an actual see that on somebody's resume.
Yeah. She's now an influencer. I don't think she has an actual job. Her husband have an actual job. I believe he's like a engineer or something. He makes good money, but he also makes TikToks with her. So they got like a couple account going, but she primarily runs it. And she get brand deals and she get pays by TikTok all the time. At least you're doing something. You know what I mean? I'm like, you're not working. But the fact that you're making money by just filming our daily life, that's cool. Like I would support that.
That's weird to me. But again,
it is a weird concept to think about as like an adult, like as somebody who's older than I am. Because I look at it and I'm just like, this is so normal now. I don't think it's an issue, but definitely like when you guys looking in, I could totally see why it's weird.
It's weird. Well, I see it too as like, this is finite. How long can this possibly last? How long do you care what these people are doing?
And God forbid you break up or get divorced, right? Yeah. It's just like, what happened then? Do you stay for the money or like do you just go through with it? Because it's like you're going from making hundreds and thousands of dollars a year from just views.
I just can't imagine having a camera in your face in every day. But
yeah, but I think a lot of time these people volunteer to do it. Like for example, at least I've noticed that my friend, when she makes content with her now husband, it seemed very fake. It clearly seemed like, I'm gonna set this camera up, I'm gonna hit record, and we're gonna act it out. We're gonna do this thing. We're gonna perform for the camera. They're actors. That's all they are, in my opinion. So a lot of time it doesn't come off genuine. I'm sure their love is genuine. I mean, you have to love a person enough to want to get married to them or whatever. But it's just, or either that or they're filing their taxes as a married couple so they can get better tax cut. I don't know.
It's lucrative.
But, well, I guess the other thing is we've got AI and everything coming up, and isn't that sort of the direction that people want for like an ideal society, is where technology does all of the labor intensive jobs and all the grunt work so that we have time to
spend time with
art and create and be creative. Things that the AI can't do.
Right.
Meanwhile, AI is too busy writing and creating art so that you have more time to go do the grunt work.
I mean, who knew they needed a Beach Boys sounding version of 99 Problems by Jay-Z? I heard it. It's hilarious.
If you're having girl problems, I feel bad for your son. I've got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. If you got some joy, 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. My whole ass 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one.
That's one of the things I really love about AI is AI covers. So good. So good.
I like the ones that are humorous. The ones that are trying to sound like the actual artist is where it's kind of weird to me. Of like,
I don't know. I kind of like that. Like here's a recent example. You ever heard of JoJo Siwa? Your kids ever like JoJo
Yes.
Siwa?
No, but yes, I knew who that is.
Okay, JoJo Siwa recently did a rebrand for whatever reason. Now she looked like Sting. Like, have you guys
Sting?
seen that? Yeah.
Like
I'll show you.
Sting,
Yeah,
the
yes.
artist Sting,
Yes.
who
No,
was
no,
in what
Sting the
band?
wrestler.
Or Sting
She
the
paints her
wrestler,
face.
yes.
Yeah.
Who's the guy from Kiss? Is it Kiss? Is his name Kiss? No.
No, his name's not Kiss.
The band name is Kiss, right?
The band's Kiss.
Right.
What's
That's
his
what I was
name?
gonna say. Sting's from what band?
Man, I don't know. I just know Sting.
The Police.
Okay, so
Sting's
it's
from
not
the Police.
Sting. Okay, it's
Gene
not Sting.
Simmons is from Kiss.
Gene Simmons. Okay, so she looks like Gene Simmons now. Check
Not
this out.
Richard Simmons. But
Oh,
Gene
so I was
Simmons.
right with Sting the
You-
wrestler.
you were
Okay.
totally-
Yeah, I
Oh,
think that's who I was
geez.
thinking of. Yeah.
Oh,
So-
that's wrong for so many reasons. Why?
She went from this to this, and it's
Well,
like
I don't
okay,
care,
I
but
get
the-
it. I know, I
okay.
get it. I get it. It's a rebrand. She doesn't. It's what
But-
Miley Cyrus went through when she
But
stopped being
wait
Hannah
a
Montana.
wait a second. Again,
You mean a
visual
mental
podcast
breakdown.
restaurant.
Yes.
She went through a mental breakdown. Okay. Now I understand.
Brittany did it too when she shaved her head.
Yeah, but it's like it's
Okay. What do you see when you see that? Because I see like this girl's trying to look like Gene Simmons from Kiss.
It's the
Rip
early
off
20
this.
it's the early 20s midlife crisis.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
edgy.
It's just
Yeah.
like
But that's
somebody
just a side effect of being a child star. I think is what the issue is, right?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, these people
Who's
just
the-
snap and go in a completely opposite direction of what they
Okay,
were.
so Tony,
yeah.
you said midlife crisis or mid whatever
Midlife crisis.
Midlife
yeah,
crisis.
yeah, quarter life
Yeah.
crisis.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, like that's a complete ripoff of Gene Simmons. It looks ridiculous. It's not shocking or anything.
I think she tried to.
But what do you see, Winston? What do you see when you see this former like child bubbly star dressing
Again,
up like?
I see
A
it the way
70s
I
rock
saw
band
what
icon.
happened to Miley Cyrus after Hannah Montana. Like it was just like she tried to rebrand herself. And I think you can notice this a lot with Disney kids is they try their best to rebrand themselves as, oh, I'm not a goody two
Right.
shoe.
Yeah, and they overcorrect to hardcore.
Yeah. And she's
Some
so
of them.
she-
But
yeah.
and I think
like Amanda
they failed.
Bynes, like look at her.
She had other problems. I don't think that was her issue.
Yeah.
Miley Cyrus or JoJo Siwa, it's just like when you say they tried, I think that's the problem. Is they're
Yeah.
trying too
They're
hard.
trying too
and
hard. Yeah.
It's really cringy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have, say, Selena Gomez or Ariana Grande, where it's a shift.
Yeah.
It's not a 180.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Definitely Ariana Grande became more mature when she started releasing her music for sure. But yeah, I mean, she's cursed, Selena cursed, they didn't do the 180 like Miley Cyrus did. So I agree with what you're saying.
And I think that's probably why they're more successful.
Yeah. As an uninvolved outsider, I would say the ones with actual talent can sort of squeak out a normal living, and then the ones with not a whole lot of actual talent tend to overcorrect.
I
Yeah.
don't think Miley Cyrus is a bad musical artist. I
No,
just think she's
yeah.
trying too hard
And-
constantly to get away from what she used to be.
I'm gonna hard disagree with that one.
She kind of now is correcting herself back on course
I
because
think
she
it's
went.
too little too late.
I don't know
I
because her
don't think
last
it-
song went. Her last song did numbers. I'm pretty sure Flowers or whatever. That one it was weird. It was almost like a response to Bruno Mars' Grenade. But she now is like, I'm gonna do pop again. I'm not gonna make rap music. I'm not gonna do hip hop music. Because I think she's like, that was not me. I was just trying to rebrand. So let me just connect back to my roots here. And I think that's what's happening now.
Cut to her
but anyway,
singing. Yeah, cut to her
let me-
dancing with Robin Thicke and Blurred Lines
Yeah.
or whatever that
Oh
was.
god, that was weird. That was
Yeah.
so weird. Anyway, let me go back to JoJo Siwa. So JoJo Siwa did a rebrand and she did a song called Karma. And obviously she's cursing on it. And fun fact, she's now a lesbian. So shout out to her.
She's now. I think she always was.
You know what? I
Was-
like girls too, so that's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
You have that in common.
Exactly. So she made the song called Karma, and like the lyrics is like karma's a bitch, yada yada, and it's a bad song. Or I would say it's not a bad song. JoJo Siwa is just a bad artist.
It objectively sucks.
Because what happened is, going back to AI covers, they took the song and ran it through the vocals of a K-pop artist, and it came out to be a really good song. So it's like,
Was it in
do I
Korean?
No, it's all in English, but the singer was a Japanese girl who sang in Korean.
That's confusing.
She's from Twice, but ignore it. Anyway, they did the AI cover for it, and it went viral. So everyone in the comments like, oh, the song doesn't suck. JoJo Siwa just sucks.
Who makes money off that song when it plays?
I don't
The-
think
the
anybody
cover.
I don't think anybody makes money off of it. because it's considered AI, so Jojo Siwa wouldn't get a buck from it, nor would the AI voice get a buck from it, or the person making money from it.
But
Well,
the
maybe.
songwriter should, right? I mean, because they're the one who came up with the melody.
Yes,
And the
but
song-
that's not the world we live in, so no.
True.
Yeah, like there's no way of getting around it. But I think in this case, the person that made the video on TikTok and that went viral, I think they're the one that's gonna get paid because their video went viral. I don't know. I assume that's how it works.
I'm sure there's armies of lawyers like for all these copyright issues.
Yeah.
But
We're
yeah.
discussing topics above our pay grade. That's all.
That's true. That's true. It's
Yeah.
all about money. Yeah, but Tony was
Let's bring it down. I'm gonna steer us in a completely different direction. We're going to listener mail.
Oh, listener mail.
We got bona fide listener mail.
Woohoo.
And I promise that every episode, if you write us, we will talk about it. So here we are.
Our first one, right? Is it our first one?
I think
Besides
letters
my
from Tony's
father,
dad. Yeah, I was gonna say
yeah.
letters from Tony's dad has its own special place on the show. I love his questions because it's like sizing us up. How much of a man are you?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Change your
yeah.
own tire. No? We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Not wrong. But we've got a letter from Emily, lives in
We
Atlanta.
should can we have a special jingle for this? It's like from Blue Clues.
Mail time.
The mail's here. Come on.
We just got a letter. Wonder who it's from.
It's a letter from our friends. I've seen the show. I know how it goes.
Real quick sidestep to Blue's Clues because
Oh, God.
Steve reached out to the world not that long ago from Blue's Clues, and I think everybody was touched.
Yeah.
Did you get the letter from Steve? He
You
was
got
checking
a
in on
letter from
everybody.
Steve?
He made like he's on TikTok and stuff now. But
He
Oh,
posted.
yeah, my brother was at the right age that I watched the pilot. Like I watched
Okay.
the first
Yeah.
ever
You saw
episode
the first
of Blue's Clues.
episode? Oh,
So
yes.
yeah, so my kids were into so I've seen a good amount of Blue's Clues, and it does I do have a little bit of an affinity for it because of its just
Your kids saw the
genuine
original guy, right? Not the
That's what I was gonna ask. That's
Okay.
what I was gonna ask if you got the original Steve.
Steve and then Joe and then
They're like Doctor Who.
Lars.
it was
I don't know. He was.
I don't remember. All three of them were on the Macy's parade this past year, I think, or the year
What's the
before.
season finale for like Blue Clues? Is like, do they take Steve in the back and just shoot him?
No, he's still alive. I'm not sure what the story was though.
Oh,
If they shot
anyway,
him-
back to our
Anyways,
letters.
We got a letter from Emily, and she wanted us to discuss the extinction of Brie.
Brie?
So,
Larson?
no,
No.
maybe her
Still
career would be
alive
all
and
right,
hot.
but yeah.
Yeah.
So,
We're talking about the cheese brie.
The
cheese
cheese
brie.
brie.
Oh, I thought brioche buns. That's why I thought that was a shortening for.
So Brie and Camembert are in danger of going away forever. So, like most cheeses, they're made with a mold called Penicillium camemberti.
That sounds like a Harry Potter spell.
Yes, it
It's
is.
Latin, that's why.
It does.
Oh.
It turns mold into cheese. It's amazing. Well, first of all, how do you feel about cheese? I love cheese. Period.
I'm lactose intolerant, but I will shove cheese on my body. If
I'm in Camp Winston there.
yeah.
Yep.
You told
so
me
do
I
you-
gotta eat a sandwich with no pepper jack? Are you kidding me? I would never miss out on that.
I have a
Okay.
friend who she doesn't eat cheeseburgers. She can't
What?
have cheese on a burger. I went, then why eat the burger?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
eat
just you're nuts.
fast food, period? You know, I
Okay,
would
so
say this
cheese-
is one of the greatest thing to come out of America is freaking cheese, man.
Okay,
Red, white,
so-
and blue for cheese, man. Vietnam didn't have cheese.
One of the
on this
most
level.
French things, and but just going America. Listen, American
Did
cheese.
the French ever make American cheese? No. Did
No.
they ever make pepper jack? No. All of the best cheese never came from the French. Swiss cheese? They're Swedish. You know?
Swiss-
what was
Swishes.
it?
These are French cheeses, Brie and Camembert,
Yeah,
Okay.
that's where they're
Made
going
with-
with because they sucks.
made with this mold, but this mold doesn't reproduce and replicate on its own. It has to be cloned,
Did
basically.
we genetically
Oh,
engineer
geez.
this mold in the first place?
I don't think
I don't think so. No, I mean, I imagine that goes way back. But I'm fascinated. To ask Winston though, not a lot of cheese covered things in Vietnam.
No, it's not a
Okay.
big thing in Vietnam. My mom used to buy cheese, but it was the laughing cow cheese, like the block cheese.
The
Imagine
the laughing cow I buy is in like little triangles. You talking about the soft
yeah, that's what
cheese?
that's what I'm talking about.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's the only cheese I ever had growing up. Imagine my surprise when I got to America and cheese sticks is a thing. Are you
Oh.
shitting me?
You did not
Oh
have
my-
cheese sticks as a child?
No, it was
Cheese
freaking
sticks-
good, man.
Cheese sticks are great. It is one of those great mysteries of the world where you go, if I handed you 8 cheese sticks, it would be insane for me to go, I'm going to eat all of these cheese
Yeah.
sticks. But if you bread them and deep fry them,
Yeah.
eating 8 cheese sticks is completely normal suddenly. I don't understand it. The form
No.
factors change slightly, and all of a sudden it's socially acceptable. But it's the same.
Yeah, it's because I'm in a sports
It's
bar and I
the
got
breadcrumbs, okay?
Yeah,
That's what it is. Yeah.
That's
Oh,
a
that's
meal.
funny.
It's
But
cheese
these-
and bread.
These cheese molds don't replicate by themselves. They basically have to be cloned in order to
Yeah.
continue that strain of mold. And
Well, can't we do that? I mean,
The-
we've cloned sheep, right?
yes, ooh, we'll get back to that too. But
Dolly.
there's a worry that there's a bacterial infection that could kill off this strain of mold. And if it starts infecting any of it, it can very easily infect all of it. And then all of a sudden it's not there. Which
Oh.
leads me to another food that is cloned, bananas. If you've
Bananas are
eaten
cloned?
one banana, you've eaten every banana because you can't plant a banana tree, basically. You have
Huh.
to be cloned. The bananas that we have now, and me and Brian looked this up and I've already forgotten the current.
Cavendish.
Nope, that's the old one.
Oh,
The current banana, I don't remember. It has a name. Cavendish bananas are
yeah, they're like
old bananas.
gross Mary, gross Larry. What is it?
Yes, something like that.
Gross something.
But Cavendish, people recognize the name. If you've ever eaten
Sounds
a
very
banana,
legal.
a banana popsicle or
Yeah.
banana Laffy Taffy, that like
Yeah.
fake candy banana, that's
Delicious.
what bananas used to taste like.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Those bananas caught a strain of bacteria that wiped them out.
You're shitting me. We could have had real good bananas.
We
Now,
did.
You can. They're very hard to get and very expensive, but you still can get a Cavendish banana that tastes
Oh.
like fake banana, basically. So
Gross Michelle.
Gross Michelle, thank you.
Gross Michelle.
Who's Michelle and why is she gross?
I went to 3rd grade with her. She never showered. She was totally nasty.
But that's why and so it's the fear too that our current bananas may also one day go extinct.
So you think we'll get another clone of our current bananas?
We totally
I
will.
don't. I
There's-
think the world of science is working on it.
I hope they're on it.
Um,
Forget
What
cancer.
job
but-
do you do? I'm a banana scientist.
Yes.
listen,
What?
that's
Cure
important.
cancer? No.
That's what I was gonna say. That was one of the things that always make me laugh about America is like you would talk to somebody and they will have like the most obscure job known to man. It's like,
Yes.
what do you mean you clone banana for a living? You know what I mean? But anyway,
That sounds like a code name for like something else, you know, like I clone bananas. No,
Back-
I'm actually a
oh.
deep state scientist.
Back to Dolly, the first cloned animal,
Right.
Dolly the sheep.
Yeah,
Winston, would you like to take a guess at why the sheep was named Dolly?
it's named after Dolly Parton.
Have anything to do with Salvador Dali?
Nope. Winston was close. It's Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton, not Patton.
So
Sorry, yeah.
the sheep was named
Did you
after
say
Dolly,
Dolly
Parton.
Patton?
Yeah, I don't listen to these people.
What
Again,
song does Dolly Patton sing?
Jolene.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. I'll give you
Oh,
that
I
one.
know.
am I still
nice.
there?
No, you're frozen.
You're frozen,
you're
but you were
smiling frozen.
You are smiling. You seem happy
Yeah.
as hell at Winston and I's
Yeah.
discourse about Dolly Patton
Yeah,
But you can still hear me.
and her
Yes.
and her large amount of hits that she's produced over the years.
Okay, so you've
Tony's
made the
perpetually-
connection halfway. I know. I'm very happy. I want to
This
keep
is
going
where
as long
video
as you can
con-
hear me.
Absolutely. No, this is where a video podcast would be great. Tony
Yeah.
is Winston and I'll just be talking the rest of the night. He's just smiling. He's
Yeah.
Can you bridge the rest of the gap between Dolly Parton and the cloned sheep?
no, I don't think I can even.
It's like
if
a
I
riddle.
tried
Is
to.
it a riddle?
Yeah.
Nope. So
Riddle me
Do-
this, Batman. Can you bridge the?
Dolly the sheep was cloned from a memory cell.
Ah, and say that again.
So-
Just there was a glitch in there. Winston
Yeah.
is now, a mammary cell.
Yes, Dolly was cloned from a memory cell, which then prompted the joke of being
I'm-
named after Dolly Parton and
I'm
her
looking at
very
Winston's
large
face and he's-
bosoms.
Oh, I was gonna say
I
he
don't
still
get it.
doesn't get it.
I don't
Dolly
get it.
Parton is well known for her country music and
So what does that have to do with?
Dolly
memory
was
cell?
cloned.
a mammary
from
cell is
memory
a
cell.
breast cell
Oh.
Oh,
The guy that cloned it has to be a dude. It has to be a dude.
Of course.
There was
It's
no
probably a
woman.
team
There
of
was no
dudes.
woman approval in that building.
There
What'd
was
you name
not.
Dolly? Yeah, you know Dolly Parton and her
Yeah.
Jiggle Bitties. Yeah, that's why.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's crazy. So it died, right?
Yeah.
Dolly died.
the sheep.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not pardon. And thanks to Beyonce, Dolly's once again. Is that how you knew
Yeah.
of it? Because of Jolene?
Yes. Well, no, I've always known the Jolene song. I didn't listen to the Beyonce album, but I'm not a Beyonce fan. So it's just, I don't know if people are going to get mad at me, but yeah, like I'm not a Beyonce fan. So I didn't listen to the new album, but I don't care that she covers it. I mean, she got approval from Dolly, so I guess it's okay, right?
I mean,
But
she's
I-
Beyonce. She can cover whatever she wants.
That's what I'm saying. But a lot of people push back on it. They're like, oh, keep country music country. But I think that just rooted in racism. I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah,
I think a lot of things are rooted in racism.
Yeah.
Still sounds like a Beyonce. The bits that I've heard sound like a Beyonce album, but it's still good.
It's a country Beyonce album.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
She's from
country.
Texas. She's a real cowboy.
She
or
she
cowgirl.
is indeed from Texas, so that certainly it's definitely in you know in her blood.
Right.
But now country is more pop anyway, so I
Yeah.
don't think it's as radical as people are making out
Right.
it out
Look
to
at
be.
that
but
Morgan Wallen guy.
he just chucked it. I just saw he just chucked a chair off the top of Eric
Yeah, he
Church's
got
bar in
arrested
Nashville.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was there 2 weekends ago.
Uh-oh,
And,
Tony rejoined. That's weird.
Well, this is where we have our duo podcast. We've been talking
Yeah.
about not
There you
having
go.
Tony in there.
You didn't hear
Now
any
we're
of
like-
that, right?
Yeah, now we're like this is when you've disappeared or on times, and then Tony and I talk about Tony's been cloned.
Yeah.
I
If
see.
this,
you're
was a video,
Dolly.
if this was a video podcast, the clone joke would go over like amazingly
Yeah.
because
Incredible.
he's been cloned.
I couldn't have planned it better if I tried. Well, since I'm spitting useless knowledge, that means it's time to wrap up. So, hey everybody, thanks for listening. Tell a friend. Come listen to our nonsense. We hope we have another year in us at least. So
Hey man, that's fantastic. It's been a
tell
fun
people
year, guys.
if they've been going this long, they gotta be all right.
Yeah.
They're either good or really stubborn. We don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Rate and subscribe wherever you're listening, though. If you want us to talk about something, send us an email. We talked about cheese. You want us to talk about whatever? Let us know. We'll talk about other fruit. We'll talk about other music artists. Let us know.
All fun and game until somebody sent us an email and goes, "Can you discuss the political situation in the Middle East?" And it's just
Yeah.
like, oh.
I'd like to know your thoughts on kumquats.
We reserve the right to veto any topic.
Yeah.
If you've gotten to the end of the episode, you know what we're about. Don't send us that stuff. I want to talk about Cosmic Crisp Apples. Let us know. You can send us an email, though, at podcastxyz@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, occasionally. Still have merch. Go check out the store. Go check out the website. Winston's watch and listen list is on there. Blocks of text about everything that we've covered so far. Really interesting and diverse. Over a year, covered a lot of weird things. But you can visit us at our home on the web at podcastxyz.podbean.com. And with that, we will see everybody next time.
See ya.
See you later.